So for our second video on medians and centroids, you have some work. What I want you to do is get out a pencil and a ruler and some graph paper, and I want you to draw up your own triangle. I'd like it to be different from the one that I made up here. But like we did here, I want you to construct the medians. You're going to have to find the midpoints of your segments. To do that, I want you to find the centroid and then label the points like that. Your triangle will look different, but I want points A, B, C, centroid labeled F, and then your midpoints labeled X, Y, and Z. And then as you do that, I want you to kind of look at the patterns you might notice, and then I want you to kind of also get out your ruler and measure everything. I want you to measure all three medians, I want you to measure all three long segments, and I want you to measure all three short segments. Okay, so you're going to stop the video and go do that and come back, and in about 3 seconds my time, I'm going to start up again and tell you what I found. Okay, so when I went with my ruler, and again, this is imperfect measurement, right? But I found that, I'll use this weight, that my median BX is 2 inches long, which by the way is about 6/3. Let's see why that matters in a second. I found that my long segment was 4/3, and my short segment was 2/3 inches. Okay. For AZ, I measured it with my ruler and fiddled around with it and found that it was about 2 1/4 inches, and that's 9/4. Okay. And I found that the long segment AF was about 6/4 inches. You'll see why I left it in fourths there. And the short segment was more or less 3/4 inches. Okay, I'm going to draw a line here. Okay, so for CY, I'll draw a line here too just to make things nice. All right, for CY, I got my ruler out. I found that was about 2 3/4 inches, more or less, which I'm going to write as 22/8. The long segment was about 15/8. And then the short segment, again by my imperfect measurement, looked to be about 7/8 inches. So let's kind of take a look here, and I want us to do some analysis based on this admittedly imperfect data, just by pulling out a ruler from my drawer. Okay, but we're going to see here that the long segment in all cases is more or less twice, 2 times the short segment. I don't know if you guys can hear the piano player, my neighbor, playing Bohemian Rhapsody in the background. It's kind of cool. The long segment is about 2 times the short segment, which means the short segment is about half the long segment. Okay, the long segment is going to be about 2/3 of the median. You can think of those medians as being broken up into 3 parts. 2 of the parts are in the long segment, and 1 of the parts is in the short segment, which means that the median is about 3/2, 3/2 times the long segment. Okay, this leads us to something called the centroid theorem, and the centroid, as you're seeing, is the easiest of the 4 triangle midpoints to work with, because the centroid theorem just says the centroid of a triangle is located 2/3 of the distance from each vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side. Okay, I want to go back to our objective here, and we had said that the objective was that we can construct triangular medians to find the centroid. You guys did that yourselves just in this video, and I did it for you in the last video. Then I want you to use your observations about centroids and medians to make deductions about segment lengths. What does that mean? Well, you're going to have questions like this in your homework. In the triangle above, F is the centroid. This is our triangle right there. If segment AF is 8 mystery units long, how many mystery units long is median AZ? Okay, so basically what this is saying is that this right here is 8 from there to there, more or less. The question is, what's the whole segment? I don't like how that snapped into place, but you see what I mean. We'll go back and do it again. Let me try. Still not so pretty, but how long is that distance AZ? And hopefully you'll see that it's, well, go back down here. AZ equals 3/2 AF. So AZ equals 3/2 of 8. And so AZ equals 12 mystery units. Nice. Have fun with centroids and mid-segments and medians. Take care.